What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I'm guessing you probably all saw that title, and yes, it is going to be completely true. It is legit my first time ever playing a Gran Turismo game. When I did end up seeing my first time Gran Turismo thing pop up, I'm like, yo, you know what? Let me give this a try, man. Turns out, guys, I actually have to admit I had a great time playing this. Now, I do understand to like a certain aspect that yes, this is going to be like a Gran Turismo 7 demo, so you're probably going to play this and go, you know what, man, I'm going to buy this game. Let's jump into it. Funny thing is, I do know the game is currently on sale while this is actually going to be out, and I have never legitimately played a Gran Turismo game ever. Yes, guys, I'm not kidding. Never played 1 through 6. I have not played 7, although I've actually been very interested in playing 7. I just haven't gotten it yet. When I did actually see my first Gran Turismo thing pop up, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting this. Let's try this out. And you know what? I really did enjoy it. And with that being said, though, I knew I was actually going to be like a first-time Gran Turismo player because I have never played a single game in the series. So why not jump into this and actually give my honest thoughts on it and see how it is. So first thing I do want to mention here being in the menu is yes, I did 100% it. I also have to point out, guys, I am not a professional racer. I'm actually playing on a lovely controller here. So yeah, I am going to be playing on a controller. I am not going to be on a sim rig yet. Definitely going to be in the future. But if we are looking at this though, guys, I got all 18 of the vehicles here. Did not actually know Gran Turismo 7 has 500 plus vehicles in it. That right there alone actually got me mad excited, which I am actually going to play the main trailer for Gran Turismo 7 at the end of this, which you actually can watch once you do end up finishing it. So besides that though, you're actually going to be met with a few different events here, which is going to be National B, National A, and also International B at the end there. So the first one here, guys, are going to go through some basic stuff. And yes, I did end up getting gold on everything. Again, I understand I'm not going to be a professional racer, but my first ever time playing a Turismo game in the series, I was like, you know what? I felt like I actually did fairly decent. Best thing is, I do know for a fact I could probably go back in and do most of these again and probably get even better at them. In fact, guys, I'm going to be honest, some of the events were actually fairly tough. For example, in the National A one here, I actually had a few issues on the 911 Turbo trying to get gold on this one. Yes, I was having issues on it. I'm not saying it was going to be like impossible for me, but I really have not played this game or like any type of game like this with these kind of physics and all that, so I pretty much had to practice, go around the turns and stuff. But one thing I really did enjoy about this though is the fact that when I was driving the vehicles, let's say I would actually have to go around like a small turn, like for example, you had to drive a minivan, which actually made me laugh a bit. But I was like, okay, so I do go around this turn, I'm going at this speed, I'm stopping here. And also, if you're wondering, yes, I had every single thing on that was actually helping you, like the braking field thing, like the racing line. Was I using them? Not really, but I did have them on. I do know you can actually turn those off, but when I was going around the turns, I was like, you know, this is actually pretty dope, man. Like, I figured if I brake a little bit earlier here, I can get faster in this area. I could probably get around this turn a tad faster, and I was actually really enjoying that aspect to it. If I actually did go around this turn a tad tighter, I could probably come out of it a bit quicker. Like, that stuff was really interesting to me. When I was going through some of the events, I was actually having a great time going over this stuff, because I do understand this is going to be like a simulator type of race, and I also understand that I'm going to be on a controller, so yeah, it's different. But even with a controller, though, I was having a great time doing some of these challenges. Like, for example, guys, heading over to International B here, yes, these are all going to be kind of harder, I guess, events, or you're probably going to have to do a tad more stuff in here in faster cars and all that. So when I was doing it, I was actually going through going, okay, so like the Mazda RX-7, this car felt very well. I was noticing every single camera was great. And what I do mean by that is going to be like the actual camera angles when you are racing. For example, like the bumper view or something like the hood first person, third person, or like the bird's eye view or whatever, or like the view behind the car. You guys know what I'm talking about. But either way, though, I was messing around with a bunch of different like views and all that. And I was like, yo, these are all actually pretty dang dope. I moved over to something like the LC500. This car was insanely quick. I was actually flying around the corners. I was like, you know what? I don't have to brake on this one. I can actually use something like not as much gas. I'd fly around it quicker. Stuff like that really makes me enjoy games like this so dang much. Now, again, I would actually say one of the last simulator type of games I played. You also can attack me in the comments if you would like to, but that was going to be Drive Club. I do understand they are different, but Drive Club was actually like one of the last track-focused games I really did play and actually enjoy it. But that's the thing though, like playing Gran Turismo, guys, now I know this is probably going to sound insane, and I would say people are like, yo, well, hold on a second there, Block. No, but seriously, after playing my first time Gran Turismo, guys, and actually enjoying this for legit 3 or 4 hours already, I am legitimately going to buy the actual game, not even kidding. When I was playing this, I saw some of the cars at the end, like the things you can do, and I'm like, no, 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 no. I am 100% going to buy this and actually try it out. So yeah, you are most likely going to see some Gran Turismo content in the near future, legit. I actually had that great of a time, man. I am literally going to buy it. And the funny part is, I'm actually genuinely excited to do some content on this game. Now, I do understand that, yes, Gran Turismo 7 isn't going to be a new game, but I'm having such a great time playing this. I guess it's going to be new to me in an aspect. Now, besides the License Center, as I mentioned, you will have the National B, the National A, the International B for that matter. But besides that, though, you can then move over to the Music Rally. Now, I've never actually played something like this before. You're basically going to have to go around and be fast enough in the said event and get a certain amount of mileage with the actual song playing. Now, I am going to show some of these in the background. Of course, everything is going to be fully muted because we all do know I do not want to get copyrighted or something for the actual music. But I was like, yo, these are actually kind of dope. So you have to go around, you have to hit the checkpoints. You also have to be quick enough to really get to the actual mileage required to get gold in them, which I think was like around 3.3 miles or like 2.9 miles or something. But you probably have to get to that, or at least before the song does end, or you actually run out of the beats when you are racing. This is a pretty cool thing, man. Again, I have never done anything like this, guys. I do know people are like, yo, dude, you probably need to go play Gran Turismo like 1 through 6 or something. But here's the thing, I was having such a great time in 7 doing something I haven't done before on a track-based game I really haven't ever played before. It was a really fun experience. Now, besides the music rally, though, we're then going to move over to the, of course, races, which I would say these are obvious. You're going to have 3 of them, guys. You get to pick your vehicles in them. And if you are wondering, 2 of the races are going to be 3 laps, and one of the events is going to be 2 laps. Now, you will have to pick like a specific type of vehicle for the said event, and I actually did do the intermediate thing to try it out because, you know, I haven't really played this before, and then I actually tried out the professional difficulty, which was also insanely fun. I cannot imagine going around different tracks in the actual game itself, which I'm excited for, after going around the tracks with these 3 main events here. Besides the actual races, though, you're then going to have the time trials. This is probably going to be something every game has nowadays, and I have to admit, guys, I do understand this game is actually going to be a tad more difficult than something like some of the arcade racers we are aware of, but I do admit, though, like, I feel like this game is actually going to give me a challenge, and that's something I do enjoy about it. Going after some of the gold times on this, now, this could be because I'm, like, a noob and all that, but, like, I did actually have to go through some of the events a good amount to learn the tracks and all that to get gold, and that was actually something I was thinking about. Normally, a lot of players are like, yes, please make the game more difficult. All the races are too easy. I feel like everybody's flying through it. Well, I do feel like in Gran Turismo, though, if you're going to be new to this series, well, like I am, I do feel like you're actually really going to have to try get used to those vehicles to truly get higher scores or even getting gold in them. Quick example of that was the R32 GTR Trial Mountain Time Trial. Funny thing is, I did actually end up spending a good amount of time on this one because I'm like, okay, so I'm not going fast enough out of this corner. I did not actually approach that one right. I wasn't braking enough here, and I just wanted to keep practicing and getting better and better at it. I did end up getting gold and all that and actually beating my record on it. Funny thing is, and also one of my favorite things about the entire thing about my first Gran Turismo, and probably about the actual game itself when I do end up playing it, is you can actually see yourself getting better and better, learning the tracks, learning that specific vehicle, and I think that is so dang awesome. Now, the one thing I did actually want to point out, though, is going to be in the My Achievements thing. Now, I do understand, guys, you get 18 vehicles in the said My First, Gran Turismo. Do let me know in the comments below. Again, I thought I saw something about it, that you get all of these vehicles in the actual game if you get it. Let me know your thoughts. I'm not 100% sure, but I do actually think I did end up seeing people talking about this on Reddit where they were saying you get 18 free vehicles playing the My First Gran Turismo, so I guess in some ways you really cannot go wrong playing this. Now, besides all of that, though, I do want to give you guys my honest thoughts on my first time Gran Turismo. Now, again, this is coming from somebody who has never played any of the games in the series, and I am legit so dang excited to buy the game after actually playing this. Now, I do understand there's probably going to be people going, yo, dude, it ain't what you think it is. Well, that's the thing, like, I really haven't played many of the games in the series, so I feel like it will be a great change. I was always playing something like the Crew series or even Need for Speed, so I was like, oh, look, my first Gran Turismo. I do understand this was going to be like a demo to Gran Turismo 7. Let me try it out, and surely enough, guys, I had such a great time in it. And again, this is going to be free, so you really can't go wrong with it. I would actually have to admit right now, if you were thinking about it, download it, try it out, especially if you have never played any of these games or it has been a minute since you did. Definitely download this. I feel like a lot of players might play this and then end up getting Gran Turismo 7. And if you already have Gran Turismo 7, which I would most likely guess many of the people already do, then apparently you can actually jump on and get yourself 18 free vehicles. I feel like it's basically going to be a win-win. But the last thing though, guys, as I did mention earlier, I am planning on doing videos on this game in the near future. Definitely stay tuned for that, and I'm most likely going to be posting some Grand Theft Auto stuff today after the recent update. But later on in this month, and most likely coming up very soon, expect some Gran Turismo content. I have to admit, I am so dang excited to do it.